5. The number 5 toxic behavior that destroys marriages is finances. Finance is very important.
Yeah.
Finances creates arguments, builds a lack of trust. Dave Ramsey said this. He says, if you're married and you have separate bank accounts, then you don't have a marriage. Yeah, why would you guys have separate bank accounts if you are married? Everybody's supposed to know where the money is going and who's doing what with the money.
Right.
Stuff like that. Don't need to be any secret accounts.
Right.
If you have secret accounts, there's no trust. And a marriage is built on trust.
Right. And if you if you have a marriage and you understand the power of working together as a team, then you should not desire to feel like you need to have a separate account for some reason, because you're setting yourself up, not yourself, but you're setting your marriage up for failure.
Exactly.
Because just the fact that you believe that I have to have this separate account in case this happens. Well, then you're already filling your mind up with something may happen, something is going to happen. So visualization, which we talk about, is very important. If you visualizing something that's going to happen, you got to save this money on the side, then expect it in the future to happen. Something to happen.
Exactly. A big part of it too is debt, credit cards. Debt destroys marriages also, so that's why you guys have to be on the same page. The man or the woman is running up credit card bills on foolish things. That's going to bring stress and strain on the marriage. Excuse me. And that is going to make the marriage collapse. I'm sorry. And there's so much stress dealing with debt and not having the right finances. A man, as far as finances also, a man not taking care of his family, providing for his family. That's very important. So if you can't provide for the household, I'm sorry guys, it's going to be rough.
That is a big deal. And something that I find too is big when it comes to the finances is for the woman to not put so much pressure on her husband to give her things that, like I'm talking about materialistic things that is not needed, things that goes above his pay grade.
Exactly.
Making him feel comfortable that I can get at this level, with you, and I can be content in that level, so that I don't put so much pressure on you to make you feel like, you're not giving me what I need or what I want. It's about coming together and being content in your situation and at the same time growing together. Whatever you feel that you guys want in life, whether it be like a bigger house or car, I don't know, but growing together at whatever level you are on, without putting so much pressure on your husband to give you things that you don't even really need at the moment. Materialistic things, because that's not the most important thing.
Yeah, I've heard stories. I'm sure you guys have heard stories too of marriages that ended in divorce or nearly divorced because they built this big house and now they can't afford it. And it caused such a strain on the marriage that
you've talked to someone before.
Yeah, I actually talked to people on my job.
Right,
and
man was under all kind of stress.
Exactly. He built this big, like you can say, a mansion, mini mansion.
To build his,
yeah, it was only him
to
and
make
his
his wife happy.
Exactly. And they ran into troubles, and he's like, man, this doggone house almost caused me a divorce. I was about to just say to heck with everything. And I was like, wow. But on the outside, to me, I was like, wow, these people are happy to have this big home. But as he actually told me his story, he's like, man, I regret building this house. I'm like, wow. So that's where finances come in, guys. You guys have to be on the same page, and if you can, live under your means, live within your means, and that's very important.
And that'll create more happiness, because I heard this quote, and I think that quote is so profound. It says, it's not about how big the home is, it's about how happy the home is.
Profound. Profound. That is true. So that's one of the toxic behaviors that destroys marriages, finances. You guys are not on the same page with your finances, you're gonna have trouble. Number 6, abuse. Abuse is a very toxic behavior that shouldn't really be tolerated. And you're setting yourself up for failure in your marriage. It could be physical or emotional abuse. It could be abuse of drugs or anything. We know physical abuse, that's a big thing. putting a man as a man, you shouldn't put your hands on a woman. That's just A1. You shouldn't have to put your hands on a woman, period.
And as a woman, we should not desire to put our hands on a man.
Right.
Either, because his strength is above our strength. But at the same time, too, even with that being said, we still shouldn't desire it. Even though his strength is, above our strength. We shouldn't want to put our hands on another man or on our husbands. Because that's not the way that we communicate our femininity. Mm-hmm. It's really in humility. Exactly. And understanding how to use that humility, how to use your femininity as a woman, because that doesn't come with physical strength.
Right. And again, that goes back to the preparation. 9 times out of 10 of a man is physically abusive to his wife, his father abused his mother, or he saw it as a child coming up. So right. So that's why this goes back to the lack of preparation. You have to know about the man, how he grew up, how was his father, what did he see as a child coming up. If you don't discover that before you guys get married, I mean, eventually you'll find out. So that's important. The emotional, and it's not just physical, it's emotional also. If your husband-to-be or wife-to-be grew up with the emotionally abusive parent, trust me, it's going to show up in your marriage.
Yes.
The mother disrespected the husband, cursed him out, whatever, made him feel little in front of everyone. Mm-hmm. You can trust me, that's going to show up in your marriage. Mm-hmm. If the father disrespected the mother, hollered at her, belittled her in front of the kids, and guess what? Your husband is going to do that with you. So
are you going to expect that? You're going to expect that.
Yeah, with my mother, I never saw a man get out of line. I guess because my mom had 5 boys, right. So I guess the man thought twice about it.
Right.
If I disrespect this woman with all these sons in here, I'm gonna have to deal with them.
Right.
So I never experienced that part of it.
And me and we were too young
right.
to understand what was going on or to do anything about it. When my mother was married.
Right.
First.
So that falls back into domestic violence. If you fall into that category, I mean, your marriage is going to fail. I mean, a woman can only put up with so much domestic abuse.
Are you going to have an unhappy marriage?
Right, it's going to be very unhappy. And you're going to be looking for a way out. Mm-hmm. So,
because it's going to, I'm sorry. But it's going to affect each other's self-esteem as well. That's one thing that affects the self-esteem too. Any type of abuse.
Any type, drugs, physical, emotional. Whatever.
Anything where you're self-medicating.
Yeah, exactly. So that was number 6, abuse. We move on to the final one, toxic behavior that destroys marriages, a lack of affection. Mm-hmm. That is a biggie, a lack of affection. You want to touch on that?
I would say, I know for a lack of affection, it could affect the way your partner feels. They can feel like they're not important to you. Mm-hmm. It can also cause them to go out and desire another person. Mm. So that can bring upon cheating.
Absolutely.
So I would say that, and a lack of affection is very important for you guys to spend a lot of time together, because the more you enjoy one another, right, the less you become desirable, or the less other people become desirable to you.
Not only
just
that,
learning to love each other.
And if the husband doesn't give his wife affection, she's gonna seek it somewhere else. If the wife doesn't give the husband affection, he's gonna seek it somewhere else. It's just human nature,
every day.
Right? And that's human nature. We talked about this in our previous episode about the husband feeling like the king, the wife feeling like the queen, and that goes from spending time with each other, showing them affection, showing them they're appreciated, and that's very important. That all goes into lack of affection, or showing them affection. If the wife doesn't feel like a queen, every Friday I bring my wife flowers, let her know that I love her. I text her throughout the day. Mm-hmm.
We text each other
throughout the day. I have this quote in my phone, like, I have to court my wife That way no other man can compete. So I have to show that attention. That way if another man tries to step up, you're going to have a lot of work to do, buddy.
And we do a lot of date nights.
Right.
Which is so fun.
Right.
We make it fun. We keep it fun. We always dating each other.
Exactly.
So that's important too, to continue to date each other no matter how long you've been together.
Right. And we've been together 60. And actually, out of all these years, we wasn't really doing the dating as much as we are now.
We never used to do that. Right.
We did it every blue moon.
Right.
But now we're making it a habit. We intentionally setting
Just
dates to go out. You're right. To go out and spend time with each other.
Compliment one another. We also encourage each other's strengths. So that's a big
right.
You know, a big part of communication. Well, not a communication, but a showing affection.
Right. And also, we work together, so
yes,
that's a big thing. Even though we go at each other's throats sometimes, but we still
not in an unhealthy way though. We do that
yes.
because it's just my husband is more. How you call that, baby, about the plane?
I jump in the air and build the plane.
Yes, and me, I'm more like. We gotta hold on. Right, I need the blueprint. Wait, we gotta think this thing out. Right. Hold on. So that's what makes us go back and forth because he's always just ready to execute, which is not a bad thing. But this is him 100% of the time. So sometimes I'm like the one that's more cautious, like, hey,
slow down,
slow down. Which you do need that from time to time.
It's the yin and the yang.
Right. But we complete each other on that level.
So that's awesome. So lack of affection, guys. So that was it on the video. On this episode, we discussed the 7 toxic behaviors that destroy marriages. Guys, we want you guys to have a long marriage, a legacy marriage.
Yes.
Something that you guys can look back and be proud of. Something that other folks can look at and be proud of. And when they see your marriage, they're like, wow, I want to have a marriage like that couple. What are they doing that's so special? I want some of that. So we encourage you guys. That's what we want to share with you guys.
The realness of marriage too.
Right.
This is what we want to share with you. Nothing fairy tale, because fairy tale won't make the marriage last.
Not at all. And again, with the things we're seeing on social media, they're making it seem like, oh, everything is peaches and cream. That's not true.
Like everything is, you see these beautiful royal looking weddings and you see people spending thousands and thousands of dollars on those weddings. And don't get me wrong, they do look beautiful. But I know people who just went to the justice of the peace and they're still together 20 something years later.
Exactly.
I mean, that does not matter. It really matters about the happiness amongst you two, the love amongst you two. You know, everything that we shared today in this video. Can you do this for one another? You know, all the things that we shared with you to make your marriage thrive. And that's what we want. We want you guys' marriage to thrive. Stay away from these toxic behaviors. If you guys have any questions, if you feel like you want to add a behavior in here, comment in the video below or email us. Let us know what you think about it. But guys, stay away from these behaviors. I want you to have a thriving marriage, a legacy marriage, something that you could be proud of. And pass down to your children and their children. Because they're watching, exactly. What you guys are doing today, it will impact future generations to come. Absolutely. So we're so happy to share this with these guys. Thank you for tuning in. Exactly. Subscribe, comment. Yes. Let us know what you guys think about it. Absolutely. And even share some, if you have something to share too that you can add to the list. Right. Please share with us. Share with us. Again, enjoy your day, and we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.